This conference will now be recorded.
Left. Hello, good morning, everybody. Sridhar.
Good morning, sir.
Very good morning. Very good morning.
Good morning, sir. Audio clear, sir. Please start, sir.
Emma.
Please start.
Audio clear, sir. Please start the session.
Start. Good morning, participants. Good morning, Mr. Sridhar. I'm Professor Ravindranath, going to make the presentation on analytical methods for facility location layout models. And in fact, I'm supposed to deal with facilities planning. So, as per the terminology that's given for operations management, and where exactly I stand when I consider operations management with respect to facilities planning, that I just want to clarify in the beginning itself. So, facility is nothing but anything that is established or created to serve a purpose. So, that is how we say facility instead of plant. And the previous time it was known as plant layout, plant location, plant design, so on and so forth. Now we say facility location, facility layout, facility design, facility planning. So with this, when you consider operational management in totality, the first phase is designing the conversion system. Designing the conversion system in itself, operational management consists of two phases. One is designing the conversion system. Second phase is using the conversion system. What all we have been discussing for the last 4 or 5 days, it's more or less really concerned with the day-to-day planning of the activities in the plan. Whereas what I deal with today is mainly concerned with how to design the conversion system. As per engineering definition, if you just revisit once again, it's mainly concerned with design of integrated systems of man-machine material. There is one-to-one relationship between this facility design as well as the industry definition as adopted by American Institute of Industrial Engineers. So here there are two aspects which must be understood. The facilities planning. One is facility location and the other one is facility design. So what exactly you mean by facility design? Facility location, as the name implies, it is only locating a particular plant or facility in such a way that the total cost of production, total cost of distribution, transportation, everything is minimized. That is actually the location. Facility design consists of again facility layout and material handling, materials handling. But it may conscious of the absence of this material handling, because I cannot add material handling also to location layout, because it's going to be very lengthy discussion, and conveniently I have separated out material handling and make sure that I'm not going to discuss anything regarding material handling, only facility location and layout. So once I say it is mainly concerned with the design of the conversion system, design of the conversion system here it is nothing but plant location, plant layout and design. Plant layout. And once I say it is so I'll get back to you right now. Facilities planning, in the sense I said it is facility location and layout, and it is strategic in nature. That is the only difference you find between my subject and the other subjects you have been studying all these 4 or 5 days. So it is strategic. Once you make the decision, it is impossible to change the decision. That's why we say it is strategic decision. Once you locate the plant and build the plant and finish the layout, so there is the matter. Then of course it becomes the tactical planning or day-to-day planning. So mine is purely strategic planning. Once the decision is taken and implemented, so it can never be changed or it can never be, changed in the sense design of the. For example, if you are building a plant for petroleum refinery, so it cannot be changed to produce something different other than the petroleum processing of petroleum refinery. Similarly, chemical industry like fertilizer industry. Once you decide about the plant, product, everything, then of course it's not possible for you to change. Similarly, for a manufacturing industry, once you have built a plant for manufacturing the cars, then of course there is the matter. You cannot change in future to change the output of the plant. That's why I say, repeatedly say, in fact, it is strategic in nature. Once the decision is made, there is the matter till the plant becomes obsolete. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir. Voice is clear, sir. Voice is clear, video clear, slides also clear. Continue, sir.
That's fine.
Voice is clear.
So once I made the point that what are all that's going to be discussed today by me, it is concerned with only strategic planning, not tactical planning or day-to-day planning. Then of course, a overview introduction I have been giving you till now. What is the concept of facility location? This concept of facility location, you have to understand what sort of facility we are locating and where exactly you want to locate the facility, because there are more mathematical models that are mainly concerned with the facility location, because we can consider a facility to be a point location or area location. Area location becomes automatically the layout. Point location, it is only location. Then of course, what are the various criteria you follow in following the facility location? One is what sort of distance norm we are going to employ, how the materials are transported within the plant, and whether in the straight line mode or rectilinear mode or another mode, something like there is another concept known as LP mode. LP mode. So L1 norm, in the sense it gives a rectilinear mode, straight line mode. L2 norm rectilinear. LP mode, P can take any value over and above 1 up to infinity. Still the problem remains convex. And global solutions are available in this particular instance. That is, distance norm plays a very important role in the facility location problem. Whether the materials are exchanged straight line way or a rectangular way or rectilinear way, both are same, and on any other mode of travel that is known as LP mode. So later on I will come to how exactly I can differentiate between L1, L2, LP norm. So this another important thing that you are supposed to consider. And what are the criteria we employ in the facility location? What are the criteria? So I may be interested in minimizing the sum of the distances traveled. One criterion could be minimizing the sum of the distances traveled. So in the material handling, I may be interested to minimize the sum of the distances. For example, the facility location problem comes from one problem known as Weber problem. Weber, he posed a problem. He just identified 3 points and he wanted to find a point wherein, ABC are the given point. He wanted to find a point O so that some of the distances OA plus OB plus OC, some of the distances are minimized. So he posed a problem, but a solution was obtained, I think, in late 50s or late 40s. That is Weber problem. That Weber problem is the concept for the facility location problems also. So the one thing, Weber problem is the conceptual aspect and criterion. One is the mini-sum criterion. Mini-sum criterion, minimizing the sum of the distances traveled. So I want to locate a school. I want to locate a school. If you follow this mini-sum criterion, and 100 people will be attending the school, and if I wanted to minimize the sum of the distance traveled by all the students, then solution may be given as one particular boy traveling for 25 kilometers, which is not acceptable. Which is not acceptable. Then, in order to give a reasonable solution for this one, we follow the criterion what's known as a minimax problem, minimax criterion. That is how to minimize the maximum distance traveled. So this is also of very practical importance, because once you want to locate a fire station or a doctor, healthcare system, then minimax solution is supposed to be the most important. Then you cannot cling to the criterion, mini-sum criterion. This is true in the case of plant, because I'm not talking about only manufacturing plants. In general, a facility. So once I discuss these particular issues, a hospital may be a facility, a university may be a facility, firefighting station may be a facility. In those circumstances, I should think of appropriate criteria that are supposed to be followed, mini-sum or minimax. There is another criterion known as max-min, how to maximize the minimum distance traveled. So this is applicable rarely in the case of a nuclear power plant, where you are supposed to dispose of the radioactive material. Then it must be far off from the plant site. Then how exactly you can use the criterion, maximizing the minimum distance traveled? In those circumstances, we use maximum criterion. That's why, based on these three criteria, one is mini-sum criterion, minimax criterion, maximum criterion. Our modeling or our mathematical treatment also accordingly changes. Then, of course, there is another aspect: solution space requirement. Solution space. What do you mean the solution space? Whether, if I take one is the planar location models, I think that the entire two-dimensional plane is the valid location for the new facility, because existing facilities are there in the plane. I think each and every point in the two-dimensional plane is a candidate for a new facility location. This is known as the planar location models. Planar location models. That means infinite number of candidates are there in order to select a single location for a single facility. This is known as the planar. Another one is the discrete location models. Discrete location models, there are finite number of location candidates. Finite number of location candidates. Instead of telling infinite of number of candidate locations, I say that there are about 10 sites that are available, out of which you are supposed to select one or two, depending on whether you are going for a single facility location problem or two facility location problem. I think this is the most important thing that you must understand. Planar location, discrete location, and of course there is network location models also, where you can say that existing roads are arcs and the different towns are nodes. Nodes and arcs, they are supposed to remain same. In those circumstances, you can use network location models. So which is the treatment of which is entirely different from planar location models and the discrete location models. And of course, planar location models is supposed to be a bit easy in the sense you have got a mathematical function which is continuous everywhere. This is the fundamental thing that is must be satisfied for a planar location model, because we have already assumed entire two-dimensional plane is a valid location for the single facility or multiple number of facilities. This is one. That means once I say planar location models, entire two-dimensional plane is a valid location. Then you have to have a, if I say y is equal to f of x, that is the function. Y is equal to f of x. This fx supposed to be a continuous. That means a convexity, and then there is no gaps. Non-convex solution space cannot be entertained by, in order to apply the planar location model. It should exhibit perfect convexity. Otherwise, we cannot get the solution. Similarly, discrete location models also, they are convex in nature, but treatment completely changes when you are in case of discrete logarithm. Also, so we cannot employ the let us say y is equal to f of x. Take the first derivative dy dx equal to 0 and take the partial derivative for the dy by dy something like this and equate them to 0. That means you are finding a stationary point. From the mathematical point of view, what you are doing is here taking the partial derivatives with respect to the independent independent variables and equate them to 0. So that gives the stationary point. Whether the function is maximum or a minimum. So there are many methods of evaluating the. You take the second derivative. If it is a negative different, this is the maximum point you are reached. If it is positive different, then only we say it is we say convex function and you have reached the global minimum. So these things that are that means that the function must be differentiable. Then only we can solve any problem that is concerned with the planar location models. Discrete location models, we don't talk about derivatives. We talk about only integer programming, 0-1 integer programming, mixed integer programming, and so on and so forth. They are supposed to be more difficult than the planar location models. And mind you that I'm not going to touch anything about discrete location model because the time available to me is only 90 minutes. Planar location models, and then single facility location problems, multiple facility location problems, location allocation problems. Then again, I come to layout aspects wherein I'll be discussing the only 2 layout models. So this slide explains what all I have been telling. Definitions. How do you select the location? The definition itself says facility location is nothing but wherein you select a location and also location costs. That means the land you are supposed to procure. That is the one. Plus transportation distribution costs. Once you build the plant, all these costs are minimized. That is the most appropriate location as per the any facility. Even if you consider an hospital, what's your aim? It should serve the society. You cannot go and establish a hospital which is 50 kilometers away from the town. That's why in that particular circumstance, you have to follow minimax criterion, not minisum criterion. So these are the, of course, facility location. So commencement of a new business, that is a first decision that you may supposed to make. Obsolescence of the existing technology. So these also is quite clear. If the technology itself becomes obsolete, then of course you have to start once again the location or layout problem. Technology becoming obsolete. That means most of the machinery that were existing last 50 years ago, we are not using. The technology has changed. Obsolescence, expansion of the existing business. So now you have the business and then area is everything is fixed. Then if there is volume of increase in sales, then of course you may go for expansion of the existing facility. Then also it is known as a facility location layout. Expiry of the lease agreement, it's okay, it's quite common. The lease agreement, or you have to renew the lease or and get out from there and search elsewhere for your starting the facility. Reduction in overall costs. So reduction in overall costs in certain area, whatever the cost that you are incurring right now, in the other area, the cost may be, for example, I am shifting one of the plant from Bangalore to Tirupati, where I say the labor costs are very cheap compared to Bangalore. Then in those circumstances, there is a possibility that a decision maker may shift his facility from Bangalore to Tirupati or any other medium town. That's why we think of urban, suburban, and then rural location for some of the facilities. This is how we classify. What are the advantages that rural areas offer? What are the advantages that urban areas offer? What are the advantages that city location will offer? So You want excellent skilled fellows, go for a city. If you don't want skilled ability, if it is enough, if you want to have unskilled labs, go to a rural area where you set up a plant. So for some of the plants, quite possibly you may think that wherever the raw material is available, that is the best place. So considering all other factors, they are secondary, but availability of raw material is supposed to be the primary. So these are some of the things that, so it is explained in this particular one, market proximity. So you can't start a plant in Bangalore when there is no demand in Bangalore, demand is elsewhere, like Delhi. Then proximity of market is not there. So you produce and sell within the region mostly. Some of the components you can export or sell at various other places. Proximity to raw material is another important point that you have to remember. Availability of capital, of course. I mean, without capital, nothing can be done. No idea of location or facility planning can be conceived. Availability of labor, of course, and once you think that labor is available, and you have to also satisfy yourself whether they are skilled, semi-skilled, or unskilled. So depending on where exactly this particular category of labor is available, accordingly you select the site. Then of course, transportation system. So if you consider Hyderabad or Delhi, almost all modes of transportation systems are available. That's the best location. So train transport is available, road transport is available, and then air transport is available. If you consider Mumbai, even sea transport is available. So that sort of a thing. That's why we find that some of the steel industries are located in seaports. You can use almost all modes of transport. You can get the iron ore and then send the finished product like steel through ships, because the consignment could be something like 100 tons, 300 tons, 400 tons, so on and so forth, wherein road transport is supposed to be very costly. And of course, transport systems and the government policies. So everybody wants to set up industries in Chennai, because the government is very friendly in the sense taxes are minimal when you compare with other cities. And then the sites are available. There's an outskirt of Chennai. Wherever you go, there are one type of plant or other. And of course, natural factors. So it must be free from earth. It should not be an earthquake prone zone, or previously, previous days we have been seeing the flood of rains in Hyderabad and Vijayawada. So that should not be a frequent phenomenon. Then if it is a frequent phenomenon, then it is a bad location site, bad location. Then another natural factors could be something like war-torn cities, war-torn. For example, China, whenever they just think like attacking India, they come to Ladakh, they come to Arunachal Pradesh. These are war-torn areas, and we should not think of starting any plant either in Arunachal Pradesh or Ladakh. And if I'm wrong, you try to please correct me. Then availability of power. If power availability is minimal, then of course you cannot think of starting any plant, because it is the very power intensive facilities. Whatever the industry that you start, power is the most important requirement. Then of course this also gives please look at this particular one, proximity. The only thing is I have given wherein facility location planning is concerned with these factors. It is a self-explanatory one. So what are the various factors? This is locating foreign operations. Foreign operation that you are now that we are considering a global village instead of a global village. That means 20, 30 years back, when you want to have interaction with Americans or Chinese, something like that, it used to be very difficult. And there will be government barriers also, trade barriers. Now, any any point in the world is a suitable candidate for location of the plant. That's why most of the manufacturers, they went to China. Most of the manufacturers, they came to India. Most of the manufacturers, they came to so on and so forth. All the Europeans and Americans, they have set up their plants. I mean, consider for example the Amazon fellow or Tesla, who is supposed to be pioneer in the space science. It was the US government that was a leader in the space science. Now it is Tesla fellow who had launched many vehicles into space. First one was a failure. Then of course second one was he could definitely launch, and then that was a reusable facility. That is, what all Americans have achieved in 50 or 60 years, that Tesla, he achieved in one or second attempt itself. He could launch a reusable space vehicle. So this is how now there are some problems with China and other industrially developed nations. Already the supply chain systems are there, but if it is supply chain is cut off, then everybody is supposed to start from scratch. If China becomes inimical with all the countries, advanced countries, and nobody wants to have any interaction with China, then of course China is the greatest sufferer, and rest of the countries also are the sufferers, because in order to establish such a sort of supply chain, they have to start from scratch. You know that even India is a sufferer, because we have stopped importing some of the very needed components in India, and we are trying to start from scratch to manufacture those things. And China is also affected. But this, that's why I say international foreign operations, international competition, regulations, government regulations. India doesn't allow. So this is the simple model wherein I got three choices and three factors, and in those circumstances, how can I get the? So this is the one factor. One is accessibility for all villages, annual lease cost, delivery of medicine. These are the very factors I consider for selecting a best location. Then I have to give the relative importance. So among these three factors, which is most important? So I say accessibility for villages. That is, I rate it as 9 out of 10. Annual lease cost. So it's only 50% important for me. 5 out of 10. Delivery of medicines. So it is something important. 7 out of 10. This is scale is 1 to 10, and relative importance I give accessibility of villages, and then there are three sites available: site 1, site 2, site 3. Site 1 I give the rating for each of these factors 254, and site 2 512, site 3 424 respectively for these factors. Then so in the last columns under site 1, site 2, site 3, I have multiplied 9 into 2. For site 2 it is 9 into 5. For site 3 9 into 4. And then annual lease for then site 1 5 into 525. You can just see 9 into 2, 9 into 6, 9 into 4, 5 into 5, 5 into 1 into 2. Then for the last one 7 into 4, 7 into 2 respectively for 1 and 1, 2 to 7 into 4. Sites 1 and 3. And the total I have arrived at the bottom. You can see 71, 64, 74. And which conclusively says site 3 is the most preferable location. Considering these factors, I think there is nothing like objectivity in these factors. It is only qualitative things or judgment on the part of the decision maker. That means relative importance or getting the radiation for sites 1 and 2. So it gives a roughly that 74. That site 3 is supposed to be the best among these 3. So this is how some of the simple problems can be solved. And I believe this break-even analysis, everybody must be aware of this one. It consists of fixed costs wherein you incur for establishing a plant, fixed cost, and of course variable cost varying from 0 to 1. And then you got what is the profit that you can get. So you see from the figure itself. So the point is a break-even point. What do you mean by break-even point? Beyond which you will end up with getting revenues or profits. And before that one, if the company is operating below the break-even point capacity, you will be incurring loss. So this can also be used as one of the tools for selecting the appropriate location for starting the plant. Suppose if there are 6 locations, all the 6 locations, this total cost curve can be superimposed on the same graph. So here this break-even point is something like 1,000. So for other there it need not be 1,000. It could be 10,000. If it is 10,000, that means you have to shift the location itself. That means if you have your battery is low or sir, beg your pardon. If there are 6 locations that are supposed to be compared, then easily you can say this total cost of curve itself you can take out separately, superimpose on the same graph that gives the range of products. That means 0 to 600. Yes, location 1 is okay. 600 to 1,000. Location 2 is okay. Beyond 10,000, location 6 may be okay. I think you get my point. This is the most important one. Everybody knows about break-even analysis, but how to compare based on fixed costs and then variable costs. I mean, the same sheet itself, you can trace these local total cost curves and then take appropriate decision. If the production requirement is only below 10,000, one particular facility. Beyond 10,000, another facility. Beyond 10,000 or 15,000, another facility. So you can get the decision immediately. The most elementary treatment I have given regarding facility location. Here, let me recall the distance norm is most important and the criterion we employ for testing whether a particular model is sound or not. And then the simple illustrations also are enough for you to take a decision. But these are not things, these are not important things that are supposed to be followed because they are elementary. And we consider here single facility location problem, minimize maximum distance, that is mini-sum criterion. I am employing a mini-sum criterion here. I am supposed to locate a single facility in the vicinity where there are m number of existing facilities. Please make it very clear. A single facility problem is defined as locating a single facility. So the location of the point itself is variable, xy coordinates variable. Rest of the, with respect to the other existing facilities, the locations are known a priori. That means A1, A1, A2, B2, A3, B3, and so on and so forth. For m number of existing facilities, I am trying to locate a single new facility with the coordinate xy. The coordinates are not known, but the coordinates of the existing facilities are known to you. A1, B1, A2, B2, AM, BM. That is m number of location facilities. If n is equal to 1, it is single facility location problem. If n is greater than 1, it becomes multiple facility location problem. And of course, the same thing, x, y plane, where I am dealing with the So objective function for a minimax problem here is also single facility. Find out. For rectilinear, we use this modulus. So minimize the maximum of xr minus xi plus yr minus yi. So xr, yr are the coordinates of the new facility. So I am using a rectilinear mode of travel here. Don't make any mistake. It is not Euclidean. Rectilinear means different between the x coordinates plus difference between the y coordinates. It is modulus sign I am using. It is only consider the positive. No, need not consider negative. Even though it is a negative coordinate, but once you make this xr minus ai, so it has to be positive. I think for I is equal to 1 to n. So existing facilities could be n. In those circumstances, you are supposed to find the location for new facility xr and yr. And this is another important model, the single facility location problem itself. So here, what you assume is that the y is equal to f of x. This is a cost function. We say here y is proportional to the square of the distances. Y is proportional to the square of the distance. Earlier cases, I said simply y is proportional to the total distance. Here, square of the distances. That means if you have a problem like a Euclidean problem, x2 minus x1, I mean x minus ai whole square plus y minus bi whole square, entire thing raised to the power 1 by 2. That is known as Euclidean norm. Euclidean straight line distance between one point and the other point. X minus ai whole square plus y minus bi whole square, entire thing raised to the power of 1 by 2. That is under square root. That is known as Euclidean. That is a bit difficult problem to solve. So before that one, let us consider a where cost is proportional to the square of the distances. Once you square, this half will go. Once you square the distance, x minus a whole square plus y minus bi whole square raised to the power of half, and the entire thing raised to the power of 2. So it gets cancelled. That means the problem itself becoming manageable. This is known as the what's known gravity model, where the total cost is proportional to the square of the distances, whether it is rectilinear or Euclidean. We just say square. Then x coordinate, optimal coordinate for x is given by summation over dik li. So dik is the coordinate of x, dix, li is the weight distance, weighted distances. So weight, that means what is the handling cost per meter? Li denotes what is the material handling cost per unit distance traveled. If you multiply with the dx, it gives for the entire distance traveled. So this is how I can, you can simply write the equation and differentiate. You will get x coordinate and y coordinate for mathematical function. You just write the mathematical function. Y is equal to x minus ai whole square plus y minus bi whole square to the power of half into wi entire function raised to the power 2. That gives what's known as the center of gravity location. Or simply it is referred to as a gravity location. That means gravity in the sense gravity of the situation. So the costs are proportional to the square of the distances. And this is supposed to be the x coordinate, optimal coordinates for x, optimal coordinate for y. So dx li. So because wi also may be there. Wi also you can include. That's why subscript I am using. So then on di y li. Li is simply nothing but weight. So material handling cost per unit distance traveled. So x coordinate and y coordinate can be easily obtained by summation over. So xi or dix into Li, or Wi also in the books, Wi they use here. ILI they have used. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. This is the DIY, the coordinate of each of these facilities. Multiply, take the sum, divided by the summation of the weights. So it is how that gives the location for a gravity problem, where already told you the costs are proportional to the. This is the customer density. In some cases, you just plot 1 to 17, 1 to 17. So number of people, 100 only, 200 only, 17, there are 600 people. That means you want to locate a facility in a street. So in each house, how many people are there? You want to locate a facility. Where exactly you want to locate? So this is expressed in the form of histogram. Histograms in the sense it is only indicates. So what are the number? For example, if you consider 13th house, there are only 100 people. 100 people. If you consider 17, there are 600. The 16th is 400 people. In those circumstances, how do you take the decision of locating a facility in the street? That's known as the facility location on a line. Before coming to the plane, on a line. So consider there is a point R such that minimum Z is equal to Wi into R minus Xi. So R here, R in the sense that is a variable point, Xi plus Wi into Xi minus R. Here R is more than X and here R is less than X. Somewhere, suppose if you have a R here, then the locations here are X coordinates are lesser than the R and here it is greater than R. And you remember the slide number if you want further clarification at the end. Take the derivatives with respect to R and equate it to 0 each of this one. You get an equation like I to 0. Summation over I equal to 0 to RWA is equal to summation over I is equal to R to N. That is weighted distance. So the R weighted total weights you have to add for this one. I think the problem is given somewhere. This 2900 is nothing but adding the number of people. Up to R, add the people. Beyond R, add the people. You see that these two are equivalent. So I find between 9 and 10 R value. That means I can establish a new facility at 10 or 9 above 10, below 10. So in that thing, if you look at a facility that's going to serve the entire street in a judicial manner, that means your objective of finding out the optimal facility also that is satisfied. This is simplest. This is the problem wherein the facility can be located in a plane, but that's why I have given minimize Z. But here you find minimize Z, maximum of WIX. This is Euclidean mode. No, I'm sorry, this corresponds to this one only. Locating here, locating a hospital in a rectilinear way. So we are considering some hospital. Yeah, please come back and see this particular slide wherein customer demand region. So they are idealized as single points. Point A, X coordinate is 400, Y coordinate is 200. This is single facility location problem with mini-sum criterion. Mini-sum, mini-max, I am yet to touch. Mini-sum. This is the realistic problem we face when most of the textbooks, they start discussing about the rectilinear problem, single facility, then they move to the more complex one. So here there are A, B, C, D, E, 5 facilities that are available, and we are supposed to locate a facility, a new facility elsewhere, which minimizes the maximum distance, which minimizes the 1 minute. No. Ninth, 19th slide வைக்கணும். 19th ஆகி போச்சு.
Sir, please open the PPT, sir. Directly it will come. It seems that you have closed the PPT. Open PPT. Started, sir. PPT started.
Are you able to hear me? Hello? This is a typical problem wherein I am considering a problem of locating a single new facility with respect to existing facilities like A, B, C, D, E, whose coordinates are known, 400, 200, 800, 500, so on and so forth, and also the weights. Weight definition I already given. It is the cost per unit distance traveled. So the 500, 1500, 1800, 2600. I'm sorry, 500, 1000. These are the weights. So it is the criterion followed here is minimizing the sum of the distances. Minimax. That is minimax criterion I am using. I am trying to find the optimally the single facility location with respect to the existing facilities A, B, C, D, E. So without proof anything, I try to give the solution methodology. I think if you can see this graph, so locate the facilities on the x-axis, along the x-axis with increased value of x coordinate. Understand? If you just look into the points which are parallel to x-axis, 400 is the first one. 400 is the x coordinate, minimum x coordinate. This is 400. You can just see. Next one, it is 800. Next one is 800. So first one 400, 200 is A is A 400, 200. Next 800, 500. It is B. 1100, 800. It is C. Then lastly, you find 1300. Facility E. That is increasing. X coordinate. 200 first. I'm sorry, I have left this one. 200, 400, 800, 1100, 1300. In that order, you plot these points. You can draw lines also indicating it is D, it is A. And similarly, in the increasing order of the y coordinate, you find 200, then 300, then 500, 800, 900. That means if you want to find out only x coordinate, first take up only x coordinate. Then in the second graph, you plot only y direction, y coordinates in the increasing order, and name the facilities there. Then add the weights. 500 plus 1000 plus 300 plus 800 plus 1200. Take the average weight divided by 2. It is 900. I'm sorry, 1900. Then north to south, DCBA weight 800, 300. So this is cumulative weights. Add 800, 1100, 2100. 2100 becomes the coordinate of x-axis. That means B, coordinate of B is a optimal x coordinate, and similarly you repeat for y coordinates. So B, it is 1000 here. Previously it was 800. So optimal location would be now 800,000. Sorry. This average weight 1900, which in which region it follows, that becomes the optimal location. X coordinate may be different. So one of the x coordinates of the existing facilities becomes the x coordinate. One of the y coordinates of the existing facilities becomes the optimal y coordinate. So the 800. So the point B, 800, 500. X coordinate is 800, y coordinate is 500. So that is the optimal location for the hospital. That becomes the hospital. That is minimizing the maximum distance. So you can work out the maximum distance from this coordinate. Find out the distances of the various facilities. So whichever gives the maximum, that is the optimal value for the minimax problem. That becomes the minimax problem. Please check, note down the slide if you want, and then later on we can discuss. This is supposed to be the most elementary model. Okay, assuming that what all I have dealt with regarding many sub-location, you understood, and if there are any problems, we attend to those queries at the end. And next thing that is supposed to be, discussed is locating a single new facility. Locating a single new facility on a plane with Euclidean distance metric. Euclidean means it is straight line distance only. Euclidean means straight line distance. Here, the objective function is minimization of z. Summation over I is equal to 1 to m. I is equal to 1 to m signifies it is there are m number of existing facilities. So xi minus xr. So xr is the variable point. We are supposed to find the coordinate, it is a variable. Xi, it is the existing velocity location. X coordinate. Similarly, yi minus yr. Yr is the optimal location of the facility. After evaluating, we are supposed to get x star yr. These are the what you call normal course variables. X star and y r are the variables. Xi, yi, wi are all the parameters which are given. Now, how to find out the so naturally you may get an idea immediately once you say y is equal to f of x. So differentiate dz by dx, dz by dy. Take the partial derivatives with respect to x and y, x and y, yr, xr and yr. Then equate them to 0. Equate them to 0. Solve for xr, yr. Solve for xr, yr. Take the second derivative. Substitute those values. So it may turn out to be a maximum positive because it is a minimization problem. Second derivative always will be negative for the maximization problem, positive for the minimization problem. So you'll note down in the rectilinear problem, we said absolute value of xi minus xr, no square here, plus yi minus byr and modulus. This is rectilinear. For Euclidean, so this distance between xi and xi, yi and xr and yr, this is the designation in this particular fashion. And then entire thing raised to the power of half. That is the Euclidean distance between 2 points. I think this is most elementary coordinate geometry. So this is dou z by dou x. So the derivative appears to be wi xi minus xr divided by xi minus xr plus yi minus yr square. Entire thing raised to the power of half. That is equal to 0. Equal to 0 because we must be in a position to find out the stationary point. Stationary point here is nothing but xr, yr. That is on the stationary point, which is going to be optimal point. And you please see the difficulty in getting the this is wixi divided by xi minus xr whole square plus yi minus yr whole square to the power of half. Similarly, xr into yi. So this expression you are getting, do you feel that explicitly can we find the value of xr or yr? No, explicitly we cannot find out because it is always under square root. It is always under, so it cannot be evaluated in this particular form. This is the most difficult aspect in the single facility location problems when you are dealing with Euclidean location, because the variables they are present under the square root, so that makes it very difficult to explicitly evaluate xr and yr. That's why you have iterative scheme for this particular problem. That's why sometimes you find they add epsilon here. Moreover, if the new facility coincides with one of the existing facility, what happens? If the new facility, that is location xr, yr is equal to xi, yi respectively, then it is 0 divide. Dividing by 0, not allowed. It is another important problem that you have to remember. The process of finding the new facility, if it coincides with one of the existing facilities, then it results in 0 divide, and then it is meaningless. That's why we have an iterative program for these problems. So that means you give some starting values for xr, yr. Starting values for xr, yr, and express xr must be equal to this entire thing plus the whatever the numerator here, that also must be another numerator. The problem is slightly involved. So for finding out XR, this entire thing must be entered here. So I don't have anything to show actually, but you can see WXI by denominator is equal to XR into I is equal to 1 to M. WI there. XI minus the entire thing should be in the another numerator. Then it gives the XR value. I believe that you got my point. Similarly for YR, same exercise has to be done. And remember that these are the optimal values for X coordinate, Y coordinate he might have given, but that's also very what you call time consuming process. Time consuming there you use starting value. How to get the starting value for the Euclidean metric? Then you rely on center of gravity problem, which I already mentioned. Center of gravity problem, this is XG, WIXI divided by WI, WIYI by WI. So you solve this problem for single facility location Euclidean problem as a gravity model. Single facility Euclidean metric, you solve this XGYG, and for that particular problem, if you get XGYG, these are the two starting solutions, starting values for commencement of the iterative program for those two expressions, XR and YR. So you have to use a gravity model here. Then, so XG, YG, so 803 and 505. Uh, 803 and 505. This gives the optimal location if you consider the gravity location problem. That is, costs are proportional to the square of the distance. The optimal locations are 803, 505. These two values you use for the single facility location problem, those two expressions, XR and YR. And so, you have to do it, what you call iteratively, maybe in a position to calculate about 10 or 20 times the XR, YR values, and you can stop the computations once you find the successive values of XR and YR. Just there is no difference. Suppose you aim at getting without any difference, that means it may be infinite also. But sometimes it always better that you stop the computations when epsilon is equal to 0.0001, infinitesimal value. The difference between the x coordinate is 0.0001, y coordinate. So incidentally you may get 0, doesn't matter, but that is the only way how we can solve this problem. And for this problem, as I advised, you have the expression xi minus xr whole square plus yi minus yr whole square plus epsilon there, that is known as another important modification for this particular problem given by one author, known as hyperboloid approximation procedure, HAP. So if this epsilon is there, even the new facility coincides with one of the existing facilities, even it becomes 0, epsilon is still there. There is no question of getting a problem where there is a 0 division. So that epsilon will save you from from making the problem 0 divide. So you have the epsilon. Instead of showing a sharp corner there, this epsilon, more or less makes it a curve instead of sharp edge. So that's why the derivative would exist there, even if the new facility, one of the new facilities coincides with the existing facilities. So these ultimately, once you have the epsilon, you don't have any problem. But same iterative scheme you can use. So once you once you get the 803, 505 and so on and so forth, 800, 400, then this is the gravity location and the expressions I have given. Yeah. So XR star, YR star, these are the things that are given. So in this is used, and if there is epsilon actually here, so you find accordingly epsilon, that there is absolutely no question of getting zero division. So this is the 800, 499 after number of iterations. I think they are. That means if you have the center of gravity solution, if you use it as a starting solution, then very quickly you are supposed to get Euclidean location problem with a single phase relocation. Okay, that is single phase relocation problem with Euclidean metric. Bit involved. As far as understanding, I think it doesn't make any difficulty. But when you are carrying out the computations, then it is a time. And this is a sort of problem. They wanted to. The government wants to locate 4 hospitals. 4 hospitals. The nodes are referring to various villages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so on and so forth. These are the there are about 10 nodes indicating there are 10 villages, and the government wants to establish 4 hospitals. The condition being each village is no more than 15 kilometers far away from existing hospital. Here the condition is the maximum distance any villager has to travel to the hospital is limited to 15 kilometers. This is usually, any decision maker, once he is worried about the service to the community, he says that no, that fellows from the village should not travel more than 15 kilometers or 10 kilometers. That you can impose. The decision maker's interest, it is 15. So you may think of even 5 kilometers, because 5 kilometers doesn't make a meaning, because village 1 to 2 distance is 15. Village 2 to 3, 20. Village 1 to 3, 10. Village 2 to 5. That's how arcs and nodes are there. Arcs and nodes are there. You want to establish 4 hospitals. 4 hospitals. The condition being each village must be in a position to access the hospital, and in the process of accessing the hospital, they should not travel more than 15 kilometers. This is the most important constraint. I think you got my problem. Then straight away, how we can now you have to do some sort of exercise. For example, club the villages to one customer demand point, customer demand. Let us say number 1. So if at all you want to establish a hospital at the village 1, how many villages can be clubbed with this particular facility? Suppose, for example, if you club 1, 2, and 3 for 1, you just see the table here, which I have given. Villages 1, 2, 3 are clubbed together, and the service point is 1. And you also check 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3. The distances are less than 15 kilometers. That's supposed to be the most important aspect here. From demand point 1, you have identified 1, 2, 3 villages, and no village is traveling more than 15 kilometers. And similarly, you consider point 2 also, demand point 2, and what are the villages that can access 2? That is 1 to 4. 1 to 4. So not exceeding 15 kilometers. 15 kilometers, your exercise is over. Then you come to point 3. There are 1, 3, 4, 6. 4 villages can be assigned to point 3, assuming that you are locating a hospital at point 3, and nowhere you are finding that the distance traveled is more than 15 kilometers. And consider demand point 4. And for this one, you can give a group of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. These are the various villages that you can club and assign to point 4. Then you got a fifth point. So here, number of villages. Which are the villages? 2, 4, 5. 2, 4, 5. Not any other village that can be clubbed. And ensure that maximum distance traveled is only 15 kilometers in each of these cases. And then sixth point, that is 3, 4, 6, 8. 3, 4, 6, 8. Then seventh demand point, you please thoroughly examine the network. 5, 7, 8, 9. All these villages can be clubbed together and assigned to the demand point 7. And next come to demand point 8. So the villages 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all these villages can be clubbed together and assigned to 8. And if there are repetition, don't worry. I will explain how to take care of those things, because you may be worried 8 is here, 8 is also here, 8 is also here. So for 9 it is 7, 8, 9, 10, and for 10 it is 8, 9, 10. So your first phase of competition is over once you assign these villages to the demand points. So set of points, then next slide, 1 is 1 to 3. That's okay, you can retain as it is. 2 is 1 to 4. 1, 3, 4, 6. 1, 3, 4, 6. So here you can closely observe the demand points that can be clubbed together. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 at the end. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 can be assigned to 8 itself. Assigned to 8 itself. You can ignore ninth combination, 10th combination. 9th combination, 10th combination you ignore, and 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 can be assigned to 8. Then 5, 2, 4, 5 you can assign to 5. Only it is examining. There should not be any repetition. So please do it yourself. So 1, 2, 3, 1 to 10 I have given various villages that can be assigned to each of these demand points I have listed out, and without repetition, how do we get 1 to 4? 1 to 4 can be assigned to 2, or 1 to 4, or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, all are taken together except 1. 2, 4, 5 assigned to 5th one. 9th one, 7, 8, 9, 10. 8, 9, 10. Where is does it take into consideration all the things? 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, 10. 8, 9 is taken. So ultimately, fourth demand point 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Ninth demand point 7, 8, 9, 10 to 1 to 4. The solution is something like 2 is taking 1 to 4. 4 is taking 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. 1 is taking 2. Four, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 1 is not available anywhere. One can be assigned to 2. 1 to 4. 1 to 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 7, 8, 9. That means 3 facilities, 3 hospitals can satisfy the requirement of all the 10 villages or 10 villages. So I'm sorry, I think I've taken more time for covering the location problems. So let me take layout algorithms. Layout. So what is the layout? What do you mean by layout? Location is locating the facility itself somewhere, and layout is arrangement of physical facilities within the plant. Arrangement of physical facilities. So this is termed as a layout. Then for this thing, you must be in a position to know what are the different types of layouts. What are the different types of layouts? Depending on the production volume, variety versus volume. If variety is very large, volume of production is very small, then it is categorized as a job shop, for which you are invariably using a layout known as a process type of layout. Process type of layout. And when do you use product type of layout? Variety is minimal and the volume of production is very high. Volume of production like Maruti Udyog Mandal or Maruti Udyog Limited, MUL. So variety is minimal and the volume of production is daily hundreds and monthly output could be considered. Only they manufacture only cars. So wherein you can collect, you can say where product type of layout is most preferable for the product type of layout is most preferable for mass productions, wherein variety of the different products is less and volume of production of each of these products are very high. And for job shops, more variety, less volume. It is meant for only custom built. It is customer specified orders, wherein you are supposed to follow what's known as the process type of layout. They got their own advantages, disadvantages. Product type of layout generally, layout algorithm, they don't discuss about the product type of layout because it is taken care by the assembly lines, assembly line balancing, ALB. All mass production layouts are taken care by the assembly line balancing problem. It is a good old technique being followed by now the production lines in the entire world is characterized by assembly lines. So each assembly line giving an output of thousands of products at the end of the day. Assembly line, they are supposed to be very, very rapid. And you don't find any person, only robots, operating the material handling. And also, this is mass production, batch production, or job type, the product type of layout. And then there is a combination of these two layouts in the layout itself. That is a combination of product type of layout and process type of layout, what known as cellular manufacturing. So you got machine cells. In the product type of layout, different machines are placed on the line. So suppose if I say a sequence for the product is ABCDE, that is the sequence of operation that is supposed to be carried with product 1. Put machine A, next B, next C, next D, next E. That's how the product type of layout is taken care of. Product type of layout is taken care of. And the case of process type of layout, which is suitable for job type of production, similar machines are grouped together. That means all the lathes are put at one place or one room or one hall. All milling machines are at one place. Similar machines are grouped together and placed. So you don't have the advantage of product type of layout here. All dissimilar machines running on the line, and there may be duplication also. If you want to do turning operation in the beginning on machine A, and after performing 3 or 4 operations, again if you need turning operation to be carried out, don't bring the component to the lathe again. You have the lathe there itself. Another duplication of machine. But then here, the product type of layout, the backtracking is completely avoided. No backtracking is allowed. So continuously the component is moving till becomes a finished product at the other end, when the raw material is introduced in the beginning. Then of course, cellular layout, the basis for it is a group layout, group technology. Those who are well versed in group technology, especially from mechanical engineering point of view, for group layout, is cellular layout. That means each machine cell consists of all the machines. So maybe a lathe, drilling machine, milling machine, and the grinding machine. One cell, and the second cell may also have similar machines, but may not be having grinding. That means each cell is formed with different types of machines. That means the components that are to be processed are grouped, and then as the group itself is processed. So this is something like concept of FMS, flexible manufacturing systems. Cellular layout, flexible manufacturing systems, where computer is more involved. Then you have cellular layout, job type of layout, and then fixed position layout. I think it comes to mind. Fixed position layout. For example, shipbuilding. In Visakhapatnam, there is shipbuilding. Shipbuilding, there's nothing like traversing the entire ship through various production centers. No, ship is started at the sea itself on supports, and then all the resources are brought towards the ship, whether lathe or milling machine weighing 2 tons or 3 tons, all the personnel will be there till the ship is finished. All the resources are brought together, and then they are taken off, and ship is allowed to sail. This is known as fixed position layout. Apart from these things, there is one sort of industry known as process industry. So process itself signifies it is the chemical process. So more or less, the plant design itself is completely dependent upon the process of the process that is involved to make the finished product. For example, you are getting petroleum as a raw material, and you got a petroleum processing industry. So the design of the entire thing itself depend upon the process itself. Suppose if you are opting for a sugar industry, it is something like sugar cane crushing, then filtering the liquid, and then send it to boilers for crystallizing, and then packing. So the process is entirely different. Similarly, chemical industries. These are supposed to be known as the process industries. Don't get confused with process type of layout. No, it is chemistry of the process. That is process is a similar mission. They are grouped together. And with this introduction, I don't know how much. I think I might have overshot the time allotted to me.
Yes, sir. Conclude in 5 minutes, sir. Hello.
I cannot discuss the computer-based algorithms for layout design. So that's why I have given. And computer based layouts, actually, they are divided into two divisions. I just complete within 5 minutes. Two divisions. One is the improvement type, and the other one is construction type. The broad categories of computer-based algorithms is improved layout, and I'm sorry, improved system, and the improvement system, and the construction system. Improvement in the sense we have to give the initial layout for the package, and it goes on computing and gives the final layout. And for construction type algorithm, and the computer package itself prepares the initial layout and goes on improving the layout. Improving the layout till our criteria is met. One is improvement algorithm. The most popularly used one is CRAFT, as you are seeing the slide here. Computerized relative allocation of facilities techniques. It comes under improvement type. And other one, ALTER, automated layout design and programming. That is one of the best packages that are used for construction type. So just I am requested to finish up. So the CRAFT algorithm, actually, while giving the initial layout itself, you give in this particular form. So this is initial layout I am giving. There are 4 shops, A, B, C, D. Initial layout I am giving to the CRAFT package. At this stage, I cannot say this is the best layout. Some sort of mathematical things that are needed. Yeah. Flows between various departments, material handling trips, ABCD, these are the departments. What is the material flow? This first matrix I should give. A to B, 2, A to C, 7, and so on and so forth. From B to A, 3, B to C, 5. These are the tons of material traversing from one department to another department. So A to A, there is no flow. This is first. Then distance. This is material handling trips. Second one is A to B. Distance is 50, A to C 90, 60. Similarly, this is a distance matrix, flow matrix. And you multiply A and B, you will get here what's known as the material flow multiplied with the distance, you enter here. That is known as the torque of the system. If you take the total 4640, that is supposed to be the torque of the system. That is the result evaluation of the CRAFT layout. Then you change the departments here and there. For changing the department, here pair-wise interchanges are permitted in CRAFT. Pair-wise interchanges. Only 2 layouts can be, A and B can be interchanged, or C and D can be interchanged, D and A can be interchanged. Not more than one pair of sets, one pair of departments. And while selecting the department also, so these, suppose if I want to interchange A and C, both the department must have equal area. Then only I can shift C to A place and A to C place. Equal area must be there. And then another concept is that it must have a common boundary. A line is there and above it is C, large area, and below a small area D. So that pair also can be considered. So this, I think, self-explanatory, you can just see. Improvement procedure craft, and these are all the automated layout design and program. This is the construction algorithm. Here you don't have material flows or something like only departments, and here you'll be using what's known as a REL chart, relationship chart. So for example, production area, office rooms, storage, dock area, these are all the various departments. And I use here AEIOU as identifying the closeness rating. What is the necessity that office room must be adjacent to production area? What is the closeness rating that is required for storage and production area? That is A. For storage and production it is A. For office room production area it is O. A means absolutely necessary, E is essential or especially important, I is just important, O ordinary important, U unimportant, X undesirable. So these are the things you have to keep in mind, and then you can give analytical rating for this one, and it can be converted into a layout. I think I already exceeded my time limit because could be the result of idling in the home for the months together. So I think if there are any queries, you please talk to me. The
Participants, please ask your queries. Already time is up. Sir shared PPT to us. We will forward the PPT to all the participants. The complete presentation we will share to all the participants.
See that, and they can.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for sparing your valuable time, sir.
Before I wind up, I want to give the reference books. Facility location layout by Francis and White. Facilities planning by Tompkins and White. These two are the important textbooks for facility location layout, including material handling. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
That I am given here.
Yes, sir.